What's good, y'all? So I just got done answering an interesting comment in regards to isn't using crystals witchcraft, considered witchcraft? Short answer to that, yes, I do believe so. However, throughout the rest of this video, I hope to bring to light some of the contradictions that people with this mindset are consistently living every single day. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. Before we begin, I just want to do a quick few prefaces. The first one is I am not an expert on witchcraft. I dabbled in it. I learned a few things from it, and I applied what I learned from that part of my journey into my field. My current field, the one that I feel at home in, is called alchemy. More specifically, mental alchemy, mental magic, turning lead into gold, turning low, useless vibrations, emotions, etc., to high vibration things that bring success, abundance, prosperity into my life. Do I want to sit there worrying about things, or do I want to be happy about everything that's being brought into my life? You know, that's a switch I can make into my world. I consider that magic. Some people will consider that witchcraft, Satanism, all that type of stuff. It is what it is, you know. But you gotta look at something. The term witchcraft has been heavily demonized in our society. Really think about it. For those of you that are so scared of everything being Satan, the devil, witchcraft, demonic, whatever, how much experience have you really had with anything witchcraft related? Some of y'all say, no, none. I stay away from all of that because that's how the devil gets to you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's your belief, and I respect that. However, let's just talk about we're talking about the most stereotypical individual that believes that all witchcraft is bad. There is no black magic, white magic. There is no protection spells. There is no healing spells. It's only eyes bleeding, ears falling off, nose falling off like Michael Jackson. Okay? It's like that's all that some people are aware of. So that's who I'm speaking more so to, whoever that individual is. And I don't think any of you may be that person, but nevertheless, if you are, come on, have a seat. Let's have a conversation. All right. Witchcraft, hold up. And I did a few light Googles because, like I said, I'm not an expert. But the first thing that came up about witchcraft is the practice of magic, especially black magic, the use of spells. Now, we're going to talk on black magic and white magic here in a second, but let's talk about the use of spells. Now, for those of you that have been watching my channel for a while, you probably know where I'm going with this one. You know, but the use of spells. If you are casting spells on people, that's witchcraft, right? But didn't you at some point in your life say that you ain't shit to somebody? Didn't you tell them that? You ain't shit. You projected energy onto them. Therefore, you casted a spell on them. Okay, that's a little bit too out there for some of you. Let's bring it back even further. Let's go back to school where the indoctrination began. What do you do when you put your name on the piece of paper? How do you put your name there? Don't you spell it out? Isn't that thing that you spelled out now the thing that you embody? If I say write down your name, well, if I write that down, Prince, I've spelled that out. Then when you accept the energy of that, that becomes a real thing. An agreement has just been struck. The invisible hands have just been shaken, and you have now taken on the energy of what was just casted. That spell your name. When you write down your name, the base word of that word is rite. A rite of passage. Well, R-I-T. What else is in there? A writ. A ritual. All of this is in your life already. But that's okay for you because you've been doing it. You're used to that. But this is the part that they taught you is the bad things. You see, a lot of our programming comes from the Wizard of Oz, Halloween, and certain things, simple little moments that we may not even thought of, but the Salem witch trials. You know, the Wizard of Oz. Most of us don't even think about the good witch, the white witch. You know, the good one that's here to protect you and bring you guidance. No one thinks about that one because we've been programmed to demonize witchcraft, and we only see the black magic, the green nose, the big nose with the lump on it, riding around on the broom. I'm melting. All that type of stuff. You know, the gremlins and what are the little things that anyway, I can see what they are. I just can't think of the term. Anyway, not important. It's like we've been taught to only focus on that bad one. Most people don't. You think about witch, you don't think about the nice little pretty white dress and tap your heels, Dorothy. You think of the negative one. Think about how in school, what is the only thing you were taught about witches in school? That's where Halloween and the Salem witch trials come hand in hand. Subconscious plants in your mind. Once again, green witches, brooms, but the Salem witch trials, most of that was political. Most of that had nothing to do with actual witchcraft from the basic research I've done with that. Now, some people probably know more about that than I do. Cool. But when you just do the light Googles, for example, Salem witch trials, right? There were oh dang, I lost my place. There was a bunch of people that were brought into to trial and executed for quote being witches. But when you start to see some of the backstories of just a handful of these people, just type in historyofmassachusetts.com /Salem-witch/trial/victims, aka a list of the victims, the people that are brought on trial unjustly for whatever. What you will realize is most of this was political. For example, right? Martha Carrier, age 33, was executed during the Salem witch trials, right? But let's go read the story real quick. Martha Carrier lived in Andover and was the wife of Thomas Carrier. Carrier was also the niece of outspoken opponent of the Salem witch trials, Reverend Francis Dane of Andover, and the sister of accused witch Mary Toothaker of Billerica. Yeah. Carrier was the first person in Andover accused during the Salem witch trials. Now here's the kicker. She was accused by her neighbor Benjamin Abbott after the two had a dispute over land, and Abbott immediately fell ill. Back in the day when you can cough and that was tuberculosis. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a toothache, that means that virus is going to run through your body. You're dead. GG at 27 years old. He lived a long life at 27. This is the world that we're talking about here. So people drop dead all the time back in these days. Anyway, her children were also accused and were coerced into testifying against her. Carrier was brought to trial on August 5th and executed on August 19th, 1692, excuse me. Now, Salem witch trials, I'm sure none of you knew Martha Carrier. I'm sure 99% of you didn't know that name. I didn't know it until I Googled it. What about that had anything to do with witchcraft? You argue about some land, you get sick, and then all of a sudden this person gets taken out and now that land is available. You see the game here? You see how they didn't tell you all that type of part? But the witchcraft, then here's the part that this is where I know a little bit of my spiritual journey has like filled in a few gaps for me as well. When you did anything that was out of the norm back in those days, where everything was Satan, where you had to say, or everything was the devil, you had to say bless you, or the demons would keep flowing out of your body or whatever, that superstitious world that they used to live in back in those times, right? It's like they didn't tell you that also some of the people that were killed were healing people. Let's bring it back to current day. Some of the healers right now, you hear some of the stories about Dr. Sebi, I still never figured out which way to pronounce it. But Lisa Left Eye, Nipsey Hussle, everyone associated with him, he taught you about healing, health, using the herbs, using nature to heal you. And they were taken out. You think that's new? You see what I'm saying? You think learning about nature to heal you and becoming too popular, whoever's the spokesperson for natural healing gets taken out? You think that's new? Come on. Speaking of which, and this is just where we start the tangent and just do random little monkey bars. It's like you call everything witchcraft, but then you will gladly go to a hospital. Don't they have procedures? Don't they do something every single time that they, for example, walk into an operating room? Is that not a ritual to put on, to wash the hands, to put on the gloves, to put on the mask, to put on the bibs? Is that not a ritual every time someone's about to come operate on your body? Some of y'all are still turned off by the pentagram. Now, yes, don't get me wrong. When certain things are added to it and certain things and people draw what's behind it, that could be for the Baphomet. which is one thing that people get. I still think there's a difference between that and Satan, but I don't know about that. But nevertheless, it's like there's that, but then there's also just the pentagram, which represents the 5 elements that your body is made of at the alchemical level. At that level of understanding, that's how they explain it. Let's just say it like this. Since a lot of us only know what we know from school and stuff, let's bring it back to school. If you wanted to explain the world from your favorite subject, let's say math. Well, this tree grows at this principle, and this is a principle that's like seen throughout nature, which is called the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, pi 3.14. You can see it everywhere at the micro level or at the macro level. You can see it everywhere in the cosmos. So everything is numbers, numerology, blah, blah, blah. Science, the atoms, the molecules, they all build together. They all have their energies. They all have entropy, blah, 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 blah. They do this and this is happening. Social studies. Well, those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. So in 1692, this woman was executed for this, and they just called her a witch because it was convenient at the time. Ousting people for what they believe in. It almost sounds like history is repeating itself right now with this whole pandemic thing, don't it? But anyway, it's like, once again, witchcraft, alchemy, all the spiritual stuff, occult stuff, it's all just a subject. But they gave you a packet and said, this is all you need to survive. This is all you need to thrive. And they gave you everything that you need to know. Hey, this is all you need to know. But then when you graduate and you get out here in the real world, you'd be like, wait a minute, why didn't you teach me this and this and this and this and this and this and this? You are giving so many half-truths or just straight up lies in school about everything. You really have to bring it back. Let's bring it back to the Wizard of Oz. Black magic and white magic, all right? Colorism has been involved in a lot of our stuff, but let's just use it for the sake of the example. Black magic is usually the bad one, where it has people's noses bleeding, eyes bleeding, people's noses falling off like Michael Jackson. Okay, cool. And then there's like the white magic that's protection and healing. See, y'all are still stuck on good versus evil. There has to be one or the other, and there is not. There just is. If you are in a battle, let's just say you drop down to a battle and you are on some Harry Potter stuff. Some of y'all can't stand witchcraft, but you love Harry Potter. The hypocrisy of it all. You know what I'm saying? They're wizards. Anyway, it's like you love that type of stuff. There's a reason why that is such a popular franchise. There's literally spells being casted the entire movie. And you are sitting through watching it. Why do you think there's such a cult following behind it? You think Expecto Patrona, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, feel free to grill me as much as you want. It's like, you think hearing those things over and over, you think people tattooing themselves with the marks from these TV shows is just an accident? Come on, that's a spell. It's literally a show about people casting spells and you love it. The same person that goes to church and is scared of everything will go back home after and watch Harry Potter. Witchcraft, occult, rituals, spells is literally ingrained in the fabric of our society. There's a black dude on the $2 bill. The Moors helped develop this place. This society. They made this, but they don't teach you that in school. You see, and now everyone can have their different beliefs about who the Moors were and whatever. I'm not here to get that deep into it. But I'm just here to identify that there's stuff that you simply do not know. The way I look at it is this marker, right? This marker, for me, I use it to draw and plan things. But you were taught that if you take this cap off, the dangerous fumes will bring in demons into your world. That's what you were taught. Meanwhile, I'm just saying, well, yeah, the demons come into your world. Tell them what to do, and they're going to go do it. See, he's working with demons. No, demons are just the equivalent of pets to me. The demons are the equivalent of dog, cat, bird. They are a thing that I have dominion over. I have power over the thing that you are scared of. That's just what I've learned along my journey. That's what I've learned from embracing another community. Instead of demonizing and being scared of anybody or anything or any practice, I said, teach me about it. Because does it not make more sense if you are so-called scared of this? If anyone that practices this is an enemy of yours, isn't a good rule of war to know what the enemy is doing, know how their system works, know how their operation gets down? So by you saying that's bad, that's the demon, that's the devil, I don't like this, you are blocking yourself off. You are simply allowing your enemy to run free over you. That's why I use the example of spelling your name, writing, rituals. That's why I use the rituals of walking into places. Sometimes the act of taking shoes off is a ritual. Everything you do is a ritual. Everything you do when you wake up and brush your teeth in the morning with your fluoride toothpaste that calcifies your pineal gland, that is a ritual that you are doing every single day. But using crystals, these naturally occurring things, if you pick up a stick on the ground and you use it as a baseball bat, that is literally alchemy, changing something from one form into another. Using gypsum, a naturally occurring mineral, in your drywall, in the buildings around you, that's turning one thing into another. That's alchemy, which can be seen as witchcraft. But do you draw the line there, or do you pick and choose? You know, I can't remember if I said it in this take, but nevertheless, I'll say it again because it makes the most sense. If you are so scared of crystals being used as witchcraft, then throw away your phone, throw away your tablet, throw away your TV, throw away your computer screen, because they utilize crystals in the technology. They use quartz for its transducive, conducive properties. They use copper, zinc, gold, which is really big in the alchemy world. Do you think there's not? You think they just don't know about that? You think they never knew about the application of gold? Why do you think countries use the gold standard for their money, for their currency? Currency. You see what I'm saying? Go look at a stock chart. That's the current. That's the how things are moving, the current of the stock market. Does it not move in waves? Just like nature? Everything is based off of nature. Witchcraft is where everything started. Now, it seems like this person was a black person, African-American, melanated, carbonated individual, whatever word you wanted to use. So let's go ahead and bring it to that front real quick. You know, you have been so duped. If you are an African man, and I'm not here to segregate the audience, but I'm here. You know, y'all know I keep it real. You know, it's like if you are a black person and you are scared of hoodoo, voodoo, you know, you're scared of the dances. You're scared of your own art. You're scared of the things that people do. You're scared of the rituals and the rites of passages of the people that look like you. You have been really duped, because what once again, the fabricated piece of history that we don't know is the reason why they're called dreadlocks is because I forgot the exact thing. Me and geography, history means really nothing to me, in all honesty. But the people that were, it's like, I think it was like European conquerors or whatever, that were fighting some type of island tribe. Maybe it was like Haitian, maybe it was, I can't remember exactly where it was. But nevertheless, the people that they were fighting had these coiled hairs, these locks that we call them are locks, but they call them dreadlocks because they dreaded seeing them. So now when we grow out our locks and we grow back to our default state, to the way of our ancestors and blah, 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 we still carry on the term that was given to them by someone that didn't look like us. And they call them dreadlocks, and we carry that energy with us. You see? Why would you carry anything with you that carries dread? That makes no sense. That's witchcraft. That's spell casting, right? That's why we now call them locks. But then also in history, you don't know the effects that hoodoo and voodoo, this magic, has had on these people. The havoc that it rained during these wars that were going on, right? People need to understand that if you don't want that to repeat, you're doomed to repeat history if you don't know it. Well, the people that were fighting against us, the people that were using these rituals, these hoodoo, these voodoos, whatever, you know, the people fighting against us, they say, yo, we can't go through that again. We barely won. We got to make sure that they never even fathom that. So we're not going to hide it, because if they find it, wow, you tried to hide this from it. So we're going to give it to them. But the only time that they know about it is when it's in a negative light, when it's in a negative context. So voodoo, hoodoo, yeah, guys, don't touch that. That's bad. Demons will get to. Now, yes, it is possible when you are dealing in this world, demons and lower vibrational entities, yes, they do exist. I'm not going to lie to you and say everything is sunshine and rainbows. All right. That's why you have to know what you're doing. And that's why you need to make sure that you know what you're doing when you're going into these spells, and what energies you're doing, what entities you are inviting around you. You feel me? Anyway, I think I'm about done. Just understand that witchcraft is a simple subject in the class. There are some things that you are going to come across that you agree with. There are some things that you're not going to be down with. You know, it's like I'm not going to be the one cutting off a chicken head, draining the blood, you know, and doing what I got to do for a money spell. That's just not how I get down. But let's not get it messed up. I am not all sunshine and rainbows, even though I use my powers of manifestation, my mental magic to bring good things to my life and others. I also can go there. Magic is just a tool. It's a resource that you can use. If you are walking around and, like, for example, like if you don't know the herbs that you are walking over right now that you pull up out of your yards and throw in the trash as if they were useless, you threw away medicine. The dandelions that we've classified as weeds, that's medicine. That helps your liver and your kidney or something like that. Dandelion, the same thing that grows for free. You can pick it up, extract the roots, grind it down as a tablet, you know, take the roots down, you know, use it as a tea, whatever. That's healing right there. That's witchcraft. And that's bad to you? If using free things that are growing freely from the planet that you were born on is bad, I don't want to live in your world. Very simple. You know, but anyway, you know, I know I talked in circles here, but nevertheless, I was just trying to touch on a whole bunch of different topics to get people thinking. You know, once again, I am not the expert on witchcraft. You know, I'm not the expert. It's not my domain. But I'm just here to show you that you can dabble with it, learn a little bit of something about it. Oh, that's what they do. But imagine if you just learn a little bit of that and you bring it back to your own regular world without that. But there's certain things that you can't escape. You can't escape witchcraft. You can't escape spell casting. You can't escape rituals because you do them every single day. When some of y'all wake up and you go on your phone, that's a ritual. Because now your whole brain has just been geared to pick up your phone first thing in the morning. Some of y'all want to move the goalpost for everything. And I'm definitely open for discussion because, once again, I'm just broadly speaking on things. But if you guys have any particular questions, get at me. You know, it's like I'm here. I'm here for conversation. I'm here to spark conversation, to get people thinking. You might teach me something. But like I said before, I am not the expert on this. I don't pretend to be. You know, I just know a thing or two about a thing or two, and I pass it on to you. To the next one.